On behalf of the Department of Consumer and Business Services, Division of Financial Regulation, my name is Ethan Baldwin, and I welcome you to this public hearing to discuss the division's preliminary rate decisions for 2024 health benefit plans. The division holds hearings on all individual and small group rate filings. Each hearing is generally limited to discussion of the division's preliminary decision and final objections regarding the filing. During this time, carriers will be permitted to defend their assumptions using information submitted in the filing or indicate agreement with the findings. Carriers may not introduce new information or propose new or revised assumptions at this time. When reviewing a rate request, division actuaries consider such factors as recent and projected medical care and prescription drug costs, including any benefit changes, past and future loss ratios, that is how much of every premium dollar goes to pay for healthcare claims costs. This is to ensure the requested rate is not projected to trigger federal rebates or payments from other federal programs. Division actuaries also review the recent history of rate changes and the overall financial strength, including profitability, investment income, and surplus of the company, as well as administrative costs. Division staff also ensure that the filings meet all requirements of the Affordable Care Act and determine whether or not the anticipated number of enrollees will adversely affect an insurer's financial position. You can review the full rate request for all the companies on our website, www.oregonhealthrates.org. All communication for every health insurance rate change filing, including written answers to all questions asked during the review period, are posted there as well. In this afternoon's hearing, we are discussing the preliminary rate decisions for UnitedHealthcare Insurance Company, UnitedHealthcare of Oregon, Inc., Moda Health Plan, Inc., Pacific Source Health Plans, and Kaiser Foundation Health Plan of the Northwest. Our agenda will be representatives from each company make a presentation and describe their requests. Then division staff will lead a discussion about the division's preliminary decision on each filing. And finally, we will accept public testimony. If you'd like to make a comment on a company's filing, please unmute, introduce yourself, and make your comment. Comments will be accepted online through 11:59 p.m. today, August 4th. The division will make a final decision about these rate filings shortly after the public comment period ends on August 4th. United, please begin by introducing yourselves and explaining your rate requests.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to share my screen. And my name is Bill Chen, and I'm a pricing actuary with UnitedHealthcare. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. So we filed two entities in small group business, as always. I'm going to go with UnitedHealthcare Insurance Company first, and the other license right after this. So this is my agenda for the presentation. So I'm gonna briefly go over with the summary of product for 1124, the network changes, the rate change request, rating factor changes, and the change since the last filing. So our plan in 2024 contains 36 plans. 16 plans are renewing from last year, and 18 plans are from last year, and 18 plans are new for 2024. And there are 30 plans from 2023 are terminating to slim off portfolio. And this have an impact of 91% of members. And we're gonna map them those members to our comparable plans. The benefit changes, same as always, some minor member cost share changes for AV compliance, and also to manage our utilization increases to keep the cost low for our customers. The network for 2024 did not change from last year. We still have 3 networks, 2 full networks, which are Choice and Nexus. And the Nexus is new to our small group business since 2022, which has a better contract with high quality and efficient providers. And we're also offering lower member cost share with Nexus plans. And we also have a narrow network, which is called Navigate. And the rate increase for 2024 is average about 0.8%. And the range of the rate increase is from negative 4.4% to 15.3%. And the total impact of plan mapping and benefit changes is about negative 9.3%, largely due to mapping, because we're moving members from high cost plans to lower cost plans, like Nexus plans. And our trend, the quarterly trend increased a little bit from last year. Now the 1124 quarterly trend is 2.3%, and which is with the annual trend of 9.4%. And the impact member is about 9,950 members as of March this year. And again, we are totally have 36 plans in 2024. And the rate request since last filing, which are base rate and the quarterly pricing trend, which is from 1.6% to 2.3% quarterly, and also the plan factors. So lastly, the risk adjustment assumption, last filing was 6%, and this filing is about 7.7%. And again, the annual trend is from 6.6% to 9.4%, which include cost share leverage. And that's it for the UnitedHealth Insurance Company. Any questions?
Thank you. Division staff will now lead a discussion about the division's review of the filing and preliminary decision.
Hi, thank you, Ethan. My name is Michael Sink, Senior Life and Health Actuary and Lead Reviewer of the filing. And if other members of the division would like to introduce themselves.
Sure. TK Keene, Administrator with the division.
Anderson, Deputy Administrator of the division.
Tasha Sizemore, Life and Health Program Manager with the division.
All right, thank you. And let's get to it. So this is a rate review of the UnitedHealthcare Insurance Company. The other one, the UnitedHealthcare Oregon, which is on the screen, is what we will be discussing next. But let's start with just an overview. There are three main components to every rate review. We look at the data that is submitted by the company to make sure that it is appropriate for the filing, checking the timing and the size of the market that is the base of the filing. We check to make sure that the assumptions are reasonable and not excessive, so that the when they are applied to the third component, which is the calculations, that they do not result in a request for more revenue, a higher premiums than are necessary for the product. We do, and in our finer calculations test, we make sure that those are accurate and meet the actuarial standards of practice. So, let's jump into this. The UnitedHealthcare base period experience is of approximately 10,000 members, which is more than credible for this analysis. So we had no issues with the data, the assumptions. We took a lot of look at UnitedHealthcare's filing, which is predominantly two pieces. And Bill did a good job of identifying those two components. One is the trend, and that trend has gone up. We do not typically look at the trend with leveraging. We take that leveraging back out, and we get roughly 8.5% trend for United. And that is comparable to some of the higher trends in the market in Oregon for 2024. And if you back out the utilization components of trend, it is still fairly good when you compare it to national trends, which have cost trends of around 7%. So the trend is a reasonable level. Then when you look at the calculation building into that, you see that the development of rate change, which is Exhibit 1, if you take a look at the filing, shows that the needed increase for this this plan is roughly 8.5%. So how does that get to a 0.8%? And that gets back to this mapping issue, which, as Bill identified, affects 91% of the population of United Healthcare's population. So do take a look at your benefits. Your plans did go up in cost, but that was offset by the decrease in benefits. So double check that. That's where your cost increases are coming this year. And that net impact is a 0.8%, as we said, to the base rate. But with most people moving on to other plans, it will be very difficult to see that. So roughly 8.5% is what the market went up, and that's the same as the level of trend. We took a look at several other factors this year because this is a small group plan. A lot of the things you've heard us talk about in other filings, they don't really apply to small group. The basic health plan really is going to impact individual, not small group. The reinsurance program does not affect small group. Risk adjustment does still affect small group. We took a look at that. One thing you will notice in the 2022 base period that the company was reporting losses before risk adjustment, but that risk adjustment includes a payment to them that brings them back from a negative financial position to a positive financial position. And it's because it came out roughly what they projected back when they originally filed the 2022 rates, which is why the amount of the rate increase is approximately the same level as the trend being the most dominant portion of this rate filing. We asked and followed up, but the company did not make or request any changes for COVID or the new diabetic drug, or even the new 15 or the new law regarding cost sharing on the mental health and the office visits. So with that in mind, we're looking at a 0.8% overall rate increase. Again, that's net of plan changes, and our recommendation is to approve as filed. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Michael. United, do you have any additional information or comments you'd like to make on this filing?
No, I'm good. Thank you both.
All right. Thank you. The division will consider all information before making a final decision on this filing. We will now take public testimony. Please unmute and introduce yourself. All right, looks like no one signed up to testify, so let me remind anyone listening that August 4th is the last day for public comments. They can be submitted through our website, www.oregonhealthrates.org.